Guys, I finally found this queen. Holy cow. I literally thought that this hive didn't have a queen and that their queen didn't make it back from her mating flight. And it was kind of odd timing because right whenever she would have kind of gotten back would have been like a week before I started my my varroa mite treatments and stuff like that and treating them with Apiguard. But I did find her. So pretty much for like a solid month, I actually, because I thought that she didn't make it back, I put some eggs in there so that in hopes that they would dry out some queen cells. So got back in there, you know, the next week, and they hadn't started drawing them out. So I was a little bit, you know, I was like, okay, you know, they're not drawing them out. Maybe she's in here and I just haven't spotted her yet, or I might have a laying worker. So, you know, I kept an eye on the cells and stuff like that. No eggs, nothing like that. But what eggs I did have in there on those 2 frames that I put in there was one for every cell. But anyways, so I finally went through and I found her, and she is a very dark queen. And, I had a horrible time trying to spot her on the frame because I keep black frames and or black foundation in the bottom of my brood box, or I try to at least. And so I went through there today and I found another frame that had eggs on it, and it was one for every cell. I said, okay, there's got to be a queen in here somewhere. So I slowed down, took my time, finally found her. Got her marked, so she's a little bit easier to see, number one, and number two, I can kind of keep track of when she was born. So, but she's doing good. She's starting to lay again. I think it was just because of the varroa mite treatment, probably delayed her laying eggs or anything like that for the time being, because Apiguard treatment does have a tendency to kind of cease egg laying for a little bit, and then they kind of kick back up, you know, once they kind of get further into the treatment, or you know, you stop it. So, but anyways, yeah, so finally found her, thank God. So, I'm just going to make this video today, just a little, you know, we're going to take a look at some bees. That's, you know, I haven't done a video like that in a while, and, we're just going to go through the hives and check them out and spot some queens and, you know, take a look at some eggs, see if there's anything going on, and we can kind of go from there. So I did take the super off of this hive because I thought that I was going to end up having to combine it. So they've got plenty of stores and stuff like that in this lower portion. I typically try to run into winter with a deep and at least one super on top. You can see from these hives back here in the back. That's typically how I kind of try to do my winter setup. I was really successful with that last year, so I'm going to try it again this year. I've got 1 or 2 hives that I'm going to try to overwinter in a single deep, kind of see how they do coming out of winter. But yeah, so I can go ahead and put a super on this and, you know, feed them, and hopefully they'll fill up that super pretty quickly. So, but we're kind of done with varroa mite treatments right now. I'm actually going through and just taking off my spacers and stuff like that. You know, kind of wrapping stuff up there. So, but I actually did I did a 4-week treatment of Apiguard just because it was so hot. And so pretty much what I did with that was the little packets that they come in, I cut that in half, and they got a half a pack for every week, and got one flying around over here. So you got a half a pack for every week, and treatment ran for about 4 weeks. So they're pretty much done. I'm going to give them about a week, and then I'm going to check my mite levels again and stuff like that. They were a little bit high, a lot higher than what I want to see. So, you know, going into winter this year, I'm hoping, fingers crossed, I'm not going to have any mites. So I did have some there towards the end, but they were still below the levels. So it was like maybe one, if that, two. So yeah, we'll go through it and we'll just take a look at some bees today. So hope you guys enjoy. Okay, so I thought I'd take a break for just a minute and talk to you a little bit about Apiguard. So, like I said before, I did the half treatment dose, but, and this is something that even Bob Benny even talks about in his videos, which I actually had an interesting time. I actually had an opportunity to go and ride along with one of his crews, and, man, they were fantastic. If you ever get a chance to go ride along with their crews, it's awesome. You learn a lot, and you get to see how like an actual commercial beekeeper operates, and it's super, super cool. But anyways, so if you're wondering where this hive right here is at, I had a hive abscond. And it's something that happens, you know, right now. Like, beekeepers are trying to get on top of their, you know, varroa mite treatments and stuff like that, because right now the bee population inside the hive is dropping. And when it drops and you have an excess amount of mites, you're going to lead to a very, very, very bad outcome down the road, especially during winter. You know, it can potentially cause the hive to collapse. But anyways, this colony only had probably about maybe 3.5, 4 frames of bees, and I did the treatments, you know, did them in half doses. They were doing good. And all of a sudden I came back after like the third half dose or something like that. And they left. So, I guess it was just too overpowering for them, with as small of a colony as they were. But that is something that happens, you know, even with Apiguard. But I mean, you know, you live and you learn, and that's just sort of how it goes. But, I'm not too worried about it. I'm going to go through and split off some hives next year. My main goal right now is just getting what I've got into winter. that's my main goal. So, but anyways, yeah, we'll see how the rest of these girls go. So. Okay, so got my inspections done, got the Apiguard off, everything's good to go. I was really kind of taking a very close look at their stores because I've been feeding them quite a bit here lately. Gonna slack off with feeding just because they're starting to store back, and so I'm sort of suspecting we're in a little bit of a flow right now. Goldenrod and stuff like that's kind of been coming in, and they're bringing in pollen too. So, and all my queens have went back to making brood, so that's a plus. Apiguard kind of sets them back just a little bit, but I mean, right now it's hot and they're out searching for water and stuff like that. So I'm going to put them out a little bit of water. Also, if any beekeepers out there know how to get propolis off of your shoe, I'd love to hear from you. I literally stepped in a huge glob of propolis that I pulled off of a hive, so it's now sitting at the bottom of my shoe. Anyways, but yeah, so we're gonna let them go for right now and let them make some winter bees, and probably get back to feeding them there the 1st of September. And but yeah, so we're going to be in the middle of making winter bees here pretty soon. So I'm going to stimulate the queen hopefully a little bit to lay some brood and get that kind of started. And then by the end of September we'll start feeding them 2 to 1, get them stored back. So all right, guys, well, I hope you like this video. It's just a day out in the bees, so I hadn't done a video like that in quite a while, and took some videos of the bees. So but anyways, head on over to my channel, subscribe, and if you like this video, hit the like button. It helps me out a lot. So but we will catch you guys here in the next couple weeks. I got a couple of ideas for some videos I'm going to kind of go over. But yeah, so we'll see you guys soon. Thanks.